All right, let's talk a little bit more about the Detroit Pistons. Detroit Pistons search for a general manager. Let's talk about some, candidates that should be close to the situation. Rob Baer said that, the Pistons may have a strong possibility looking at Tayshaun Prince, who was with the Grizzlies organization, Chauncey Billups. Also, you would think Malik Rose, Joe Dumars, a couple candidates that could be in there as well too. Just kind of focus on those kind of candidates. So hit the subscribe button, bell icon button. Motor City Sports Talk in the building. Don't forget to check out our Detroit Piston Talk playlist, Piston one-on-one live stream playlist. So kind of feel the Piston live stream coming pretty soon. So discuss this openly. But yeah, let's talk about kind of Malik Rose first, man. We could talk about that internal candidate. I think he the perfect fit for what they trying to do. I know people probably mad. What you talking about, CJ? What about Chauncey? They want to be able to control somebody. That's what it boiled down to. Whoever come in won't have full reign to make their own decisions. And that's going to cut the candidate list to a minimum. So Malik Rose is already there. He's already been groomed. Ed Stefanowski, he wants to be able to have a final say-so. Obviously, the owner's got to have a final say-so. So Ed and Tom Gores is probably one. Obviously, Tom will make the ultimate decision, but he gonna listen to Ed first. So whoever coming here is just not gonna have the power. They got to keep Dwayne Casey, right? Even if you don't want to keep him, they're gonna force you to keep him because they don't want to pay him to sit at home. Then you gotta answer to Ed, and then you gotta get a final answer from Tom. So who else gonna come in here and be tied up like that? If you want to be a general manager, or you're going to be a prominent general manager, and you're going to come from, a top position, one, if you Masai Ujiri, Sam Presti, was it Tom Shepard or whatever his name down there in the Wizards is, if you're going to come from San Antonio or Golden State, you're going to want the ultimate full control. You don't want to have to look over your shoulder. If anybody you're going to work with is going to be the assistant general manager, which is Malik Rose right now. You shouldn't have to answer to Ed. Ed is just the guy that helped Tom make basketball decisions. So right then and there, what they looking for is a whipping boy. A boy that's going to keep Dwayne Casey a coach, and they still can control him. And Malik Rose makes perfect sense because he's already in the organization. Whoever the general manager is, they not going to give them full control. Therefore, that slash your candidate list down to a minimum. Now, talking about bringing Joe Dumars in, and people talking about bringing him back, ultimately he is pissed off at the organization. So you probably got a better chance of bringing in a guy like Isaiah Thomas, which I don't think Isaiah Thomas is going to do that anymore. Ever since, I don't think he's qualified because what happened in New York was some of the allegations that was against him. Now, if you can move on from that, you got a better chance of getting Isaiah Thomas in there. Because with Joe Dumars, they have to mend the fence there. He ain't been part of this organization in quite some time. And I'm not exactly sure what happened with that organization. It's because they fired him and they brought Stan and Jordan Bowers in. Stan Van Gundy, maybe that's what's it. But really, he had his chance over, many, many years. He put a championship team together. And once again, he's not going to want to answer to Ed Stefanowski. He wants to bring his own guy in. I guarantee his own guy isn't Dwayne Casey. So that doesn't make sense. You have to mend those fences. And when you mend those fences, then you got another dude who got a boss mentality. He see things one way. And Ed see one thing. He don't want to answer to Ed. If anything, him and Ed can work together. Or him and Malik can work together. And then Tom Gores get the final answer. But outside of that, he not a dude that's going to answer to somebody else. He want full control of the show like when he was here in Detroit before. So I don't see that being a good thing. Now, people are probably saying Isaiah Thomas, like I said with the situation in New York that happened, his name kind of bad in these streets. So we looking at a situation where, you have to get that clear with the NBA. You have to clear that with Tom and, have to make sure ain't nothing, he ain't going to do shit wrong again. But he wasn't the greatest executive neither in New York or in Toronto. But also you get to talk about a guy like Tayshaun Prince, who's been building up in the Grizzlies organization, a guy that's very smart, very mature. He was mature beyond his years. He's like one of the last 4-year starters in college to really, really come out during the, one and done era and during the, straight to high school era. So Tayshaun, mature, not sure where his personnel skills is at this point or how hot of a name he is in the Memphis organization around the league. But I wouldn't mind seeing Tayshaun Prince come here pulling the strings. I think he got a high basketball IQ. You see it's kind of a recurring theme. If you don't get a sports agent, they going younger. Elton Brand in Philadelphia, James Jones in Phoenix. So why not get Tayshaun Prince, a mature dude, a dude that, in my opinion, when I kind of finish setting up my basement, I'm going to have that poster of him blocking Reggie Miller, right there. You're going to see it, front and center. You know what I'm saying? And, I wouldn't mind. He high on my list, you know what I'm saying? But I want Tayshaun to be able to have full control. I want him to be able to pick his head coach. I want him just to be able to go straight to Tom and not have to go through Ed. You know what I'm saying? So I would be down for Tayshaun to do the job. And I kind of give you my ranking of these people. Okay? So I wouldn't be mad. Chauncey Billups is probably the platinum standard here. But once again, Chauncey already said he wasn't interested. And I wish I would have got the interview with Chauncey last summer at the Big Three. And obviously they canceled the Big Three season this year, and they're going to focus on 2021. And so messed up about it, the championship of the Big Three was in Detroit this year, man, and mad as hell about that, man. Big Three basketball was good for the summer, but could be getting some NBA basketball this summer. I'm pretty sure we ought to take that. But, Chauncey Billups, they got to throw him the bag to get away from ESPN. But ESPN is a dysfunctional workplace. If you read some of the stories, the sexual harassment allegations, and kind of how they run the joint, it's kind of dysfunctional, all right? But I would get Chauncey whatever you wanted. If he wanted a Pacific general manager next to him, if he wanted to bring Tayshaun in, and him and Tayshaun work together as one full general manager, as assistant and general manager, I would be down for that. If he didn't want to answer to Ed Stefanowski, I'll get rid of Ed Stefanowski. You know what I'm saying? Chauncey should be able to have whatever he want to have. If he wants Joe Dumars to work with him, he should be able to have Joe Dumars to work with him. If he want to fire Dwayne Casey, he should be able to fire Dwayne Casey, especially if you're able to amnesty Blake Griffin. You know what I'm saying? So with all that cap space, who wouldn't? I think a lot of people respect Chauncey around the league. I think a lot of people respect Tayshaun around the league. And keep it the Piston organization, Keep it, if they mess up and they're young, it's okay. The Pistons been messed up all for the last, 10 plus years. But Chauncey would be the guy. That's the guy that Flip Saunders wanted to take over for him. And also they offered, Kevin Garnett had some impression that he was going to be the head executive at the Minnesota Timberwolves, and now he mad at the owner for reneging on his word. So also, you talk about some other external kind of candidates outside of the Detroit bubble. Kevin Garnett could be a name. Kenny the Jet Smith could be a name. And I talk about these live on another video. The external candidates. Reggie Miller could be a name. Sharif Abdul-Rahim could be a name. You also probably got some super agents out there. But those all can be names that can come in and run the organization. You know what I'm saying? So, but in ranking the internal candidates kind of in the Detroit bubble, I would say Chauncey 1, right? Tayshaun number 2. 3, I would say Malik Rose. 4, I would say Joe Dumars. And 5, Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer, guys of that nature were ranked after that. Down there after that, I think Bill Laimbeer was a tremendous coach. It's just that his reputation was so bad, like Isaiah Thomas, for basically being the mastermind behind, the Detroit Bad Boys and being physical. But I don't think they regret it because you won the championship. Now, if you did win a championship, you got whiteballed out the league, then you obviously regret it. So, I think those are the 5 that I run with in order. I would like to see Tayshaun and Chauncey work together in the front office and do their thing, man. But whoever they get here, they got to get them full control. They shouldn't have to answer to Ed. They shouldn't have to keep Dwayne Casey. But if those are the requirements, and that's what I read in the ESPN piece by Adrian Wojnarowski, the ESPN, if those are the requirements, then Malik Rose is probably the best candidate. And then you probably looking at a guy like Tayshaun. Chauncey not working under nobody like that. Joe ain't working under nobody like that. Bill ain't working under nobody like that. And Isaiah damn sure ain't working for nobody under like that. And also, Jerry Colangelo might be a name out there. He got caught doing the burner account, but his name might be good. It might be good in these streets again. So that's something to look at. Let me know what you guys think about some of these internal candidates. And I'll do a video on the external candidates coming up. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got business question, inquiry, response, video request, want to make a donation to the channel. Cash App, PayPal, description. Twitter's the fastest way to get in touch with me. Then Facebook, one time for the one time Mercy Sports Talk. We gone.